Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boys from Post Live with you, bringing that flavor to you today. I want to be the first to say good evening to everybody, and I'm going to introduce my co hosts, my partners. We got J3 on the mic with us. Say what up, J3.
My people, my people, my people. The day has come. We are still here and going strong. What?
Hey, man. And you know, we got that soul contributor, my man, my cousin, my brother. We got Sense in the house tonight. Say what's up, Sense.
What it do, baby?
Yay, yay.
Get started. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. So, of course, you know I'm gonna hit it, y'all. Let's praise the Lord. So tonight, good evening, folks. We welcome you to Positions on Sports Talk Show. That's post live streaming on Facebook Live, as well as our Positions on Sports Talk Show YouTube channel, as well as Twitch. All right, get that out there. We are a sports talk show made for the fans, from the perspective of fans, presented by lifelong fans. We will provide our opinions and positions on the hottest topics in sports. So you know what tonight is. It's our Power Play Fantasy Football Show. Every Thursday night at 7:30, we will discuss all the news from around the world of fantasy football. We will highlight the most popular players, trades, injury reports, starters, bench warmers, top dogs, sleepers, quick hits, quiet storm, and closers. So, of course, you know, I am Professor J and I'm with you tonight. So, we're going to kick it off with the injury reports led by my man J3. So, J3, tell the people what they need to know.
Real quick, here we go. Keep up. Mark Ingram for the running back for the Ravens will likely miss the second straight game with an ankle injury. He did not practice today. Michael Thomas for the Saints coming off a high ankle sprain and hamstring. He was limited today, but he should go in the big game against Tampa on Sunday. Aaron Jones, the running back for the Packers, was limited this week in practice, but will be a game decision tonight as he goes through warm-ups. Alan Lazard, the wide receiver for the Packers, is out for the night with the lingering core injury. Calvin Ridley for the Falcons is expected to be out this week with the midfoot strain. Falcons are smart to hold him out before the bye week in 10. Philip Lindsay, the running back for the Broncos, was limited today in practice with a foot injury. He remains on track to suit up on Sunday. Chris Godwin, the wide receiver for the Bucs, did not practice today, but will not suit up with the finger injury. I'm sorry. Ezekiel Elliott for the Cowboys was limited in practice with an apparent hamstring injury. He is described as a minor and will play on Sunday. Chicago and Houston shut down facilities due to COVID-19 concerns. Pay attention to any players you have on both teams. Jamal Adams for the Seahawks practiced on Wednesday coming off of the groin. Even as he is trending in the right direction, caution should be used starting him against the Bills. Groins are very sensitive tissue injuries, and the way he plays, he could re-aggravate it. Matthew Stafford for the Lions is on COVID list. Brandon Ayuk, the wide receiver for the 49ers, is on the COVID list. Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers is expected to play on Sunday against the Chiefs.
All right.
This is great news since he's been out since the second week due to a high ankle sprain. Deebo Samuels for the 49ers is still out due to a hamstring. George Kittle for the 49ers is out for 8 weeks with a broken foot. And lastly, Jimmy Garoppolo, quarterback for the 49ers, is out indefinitely with a high ankle sprain. Back to you.
Man, the 49ers, y'all. And it's like one skilled player after the next that's getting hurt on that team. But guess what? Like I told y'all before the show, we got a sighting. We got a sighting of Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed is going to play a tight end today. He might have a monster game, y'all.
We'll believe it when we see it.
Right. So the Ezekiel Elliott one was interesting, right? Could he be like trying to have a way out to not play the rest of this year? You know, try not to get hurt, save himself, because the Cowboys aren't going anywhere.
And with the
hamstring thing, huh?
I said, yeah, so he won't get blamed for any more
Right.
losses. I
Exactly.
can see that.
Because the hamstring is a very delicate one, right? So
Right.
that thing can linger on.
It could be one of those rare lengthy hamstring injuries.
Right. Exactly. I think he playing this card just right. I mean, Cowboy fans. I mean, I'm not really gonna accuse. Well, maybe I am accusing him
Who
a little.
cares?
What do they have to play for? If we keeping it real, what do they have to play for? They don't really.
Right.
Have much. I mean,
Truly.
the East is, I mean, it's trash.
It's still up for grabs, though. It's still up for grabs. So, I mean,
You know.
truth be told, if they could win out, they still got a chance of taking the
With
division.
what
So,
quarterback?
I'm just saying. It's anybody's game right now.
That's true.
I got
The Eagles trying to put a stranglehold on it though. They try to get a nice little couple game lead, and I think
Yeah,
that's
they
all
still
it'll
trying to
take
find
this
themselves. Even though they got the blueprint to be the best out of the East, they still trying to figure out who they are.
I see Washington coming up the rear.
year. For real, you think so? You think football team
You
go
heard
make
it.
a run?
I think now they starting to, kind of get that confidence. They've just made McLaurin a captain. McLaurin has that leadership quality.
Mhm.
If they can ride this train, get behind him, and just like keep that momentum going, I think they can make some noise.
Right. Let me derail the show for just one moment, because I think many of us expected Mr. Haskins to be in a different uniform, and it's kind of disappointing that that did not happen. Just real quick, what do you think his future is with this team?
I mean, I could see him being traded to the Giants or someplace like that for maybe some draft picks. I mean, they're not really going to get.
They're not going to give up on Daniel Jones, not that quickly. They
Well,
won't.
maybe some team in need of a quarterback. Like, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, it's just a shame that a dude with so much promise. I think he might have left college like prematurely. I think he was hyped off that one season where he threw 50 plus touchdowns and he could ride that wave into the NFL, and it didn't pan out for him. Like, folks knew, which is why New York didn't like pull that trigger and get Haskins. They got Jones because they had more faith in Danny Dimes, and you can see on the field that is like, beared fruit for them.
Yeah, that could be true. I think another factor is the Mannings were in love with Jones as well. So when they give an endorsement of a quarterback, it usually goes a very long way. All right, I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that.
Can I just make one point real quick?
Yes, sir.
Like I keep telling y'all, a quarterback is only as good as his offensive line.
Yeah.
If your line is not protecting you and you have no time to throw the ball or plant your feet or look at your alternate receiver or receivers, you ain't going to be accurate.
True. Yeah, if that offensive line can stay healthy, that's the problem.
What saved Allen to me, because he looked slightly better than he did the couple of weeks before, is they got Brandon Sheriff back. So when you got a Pro Bowler that comes back, even one player back on that line, it can make a difference. So, yeah, we'll address that on the main show.
We're rooting for you, though, D. Haskins.
Of course. All right, so let's get down to the honors. I think I got a couple in here that's going to blow y'all mind this week, but I think I back it up with some pretty good evidence. But, as always, we can debate about it. All right, top dogs for this week. All right, leading us off, Michael Thomas, wide receiver, Saints. It is time to unleash the beast. With so much love going on for Devontae Adams, all the new rookie wideouts, and all the other solid number ones around the league, it is time for this top dog to reclaim his throne. In this big game coming up against the Bucs, I expect Drew Brees to have this ball on a rope to Thomas every time he gets a chance. If Drew has time, Thomas gets the dime. That's what I'm saying. All right, number two, the Steelers offense. Look, not kidding y'all. Any offensive player that you have for the Steelers, y'all look at my eyes. Any skilled player on offense that you have for the Steelers, start them, because they're playing against the Cowboys. Should I say any more? Their defense is terrible. Ben spreads the wealth too. So Connor, Claypool, Smith-Schuster, Ebron, Johnson, Washington, if you got them on your team, start them. They
So
gonna go.
there too.
Huh?
Throw the kicker in there too.
All right, and I like that, and you're gonna see why when I get down the list. They should have a field day. Too bad we can't start an entire offense like we do defense in the leagues. That would be the play this week. Lamar Jackson, quarterback, Ravens. So of course, he always comes off of a subpar game with a good game. So I expect him to really bounce back this week, do some Lamar things. Hopefully, they coached him up a little bit this week about decision making and tight spots and all that good stuff. But I think he'll be able to get things going. He's going to have to, because Mark Ingram he won't have in the backfield for the second straight week. So you got to look at how that affects that running game, that read option and all of that. Teams aren't really scared or threatened by the other running backs on the roster. So, hopefully he gets back quickly or quicker, because it's already been a couple of weeks, and help Lamar out. So if you got Lamar, of course, I don't need to tell you, you needed to start him. Sleepers for this week. Hey, I like this one. Allen Robinson, wide receiver, Bears. He has been demanding the ball and generally makes plays when targeted. The Bears are facing Tennessee in a matchup of two teams that will show if they are contenders or pretenders. Robinson should be a factor, and he should factor in nicely against the secondary of the Titans. Ooh, Jefferson Davis, wide receiver, Vikings. I know these Vikings have been having a yard sale lately, but Jefferson is still becoming Captain Kirk's favorite target, with Thielen in and out of the lineup and not really looking right this year. Jefferson is hungry and racking up the real and fantasy points in this league, albeit under the radar. CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, Cowboys. Amari Cooper is becoming his new last name. Lamb is another rookie taking the league by storm and making folks forget about the other number ones, one naming Amari Cooper from the Cowboys. And he's making quarterbacks forget their number ones as well. And the Cowboys have a carousel of quarterbacks right now. Here's a bit of advice. Just throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb. That's all you need to do. You still going to lose, but at least you'll have a fighting chance with him getting some yak for you. The boys are not back in town, at least not as a pro team, but Lamb has elevated his game on a terrible team in a terrible conference. All right, down to the quick hits. Travis Kelce, tight end Chiefs. Man, it is hard for a tight end to crack the weekly honors list, but here we go. Kelce had a banner game against the Jets. Okay, it was Jets, Jets. We get that. And he should continue against the Panthers. He should be a matchup nightmare for anyone in the secondary, and you know better not to put a linebacker on him. No more Luke Kuechly, so no problems. Chiefs have an explosive offense, and Kelce's yak, that's yards after catch for y'all out there, is to be feared. Oh, yeah, I like this one too. Todd Gurley, running back, Falcons. The hits just keep on coming with him. He is a TD machine. You don't need him as running back one this week against Denver, but the passing attack against Denver should deliver quite a few red zone opportunities for Mr. Gurley. The threat of the pass game will also give him opportunities for chunk yards. Good for 70 yards and 2 scores that will hit early and late. Todd is the only player this year to be considered a quick hit and closer at the same time, but I like him better in this spot. All right, and you mentioned the kicker earlier, Sense. Here you go. Greg Zuerlein, kicker from the Cowboys. I can't believe I have a kicker here. I just can't. But he is the only bright spot outside of the rookie wide receiver that I just named. The Steelers are 7-0, but they have made some gaffes that put teams in good field position. The Cowboys will surprise the Steelers by moving the ball enough with Duck Hodges. I got him confused with the bum up in Pittsburgh. The Nooch is what they call him, Danucci these days, or Cooper in the game. All right, enough of that. Zuerlein will kick a couple of long ones, all right, that will get quality points for fantasy leaguers that will put them over the top in your close match this week, all right? So that's why Zuerlein is there. What has he done over the past couple of weeks? He's kicked like 7 and made 7 field goals. That's all they've been doing. Cowboys can't get in the end zone. So they will utilize their kicker, and he's good from 50. So I think he'll get you at least 6 to 9 points this week. Quiet storm. Welcome back, Mr. Allen. Josh Allen, quarterback from the Bills. As quiet as kept, the Seahawks are struggling on defense. Yes, they still have Wagner, but they may not have the real, true Jamal Adams this week. They struggled against the 49ers, and you know how decimated their offense is. And Russ, as quietly as kept, they need Russ to cook and Metcalf to be the cyborg against those teams that they've beaten for them to be this good. They may do it again this week, but Allen does not play against the opposing offense. He should get back to form like he had the first 4 weeks of the season and chomp up the fantasy points. Deshaun Watson, quarterback, Texans. Not just because he is tired of losing and almost losing every weapon that he has had, but because J.J. Watt says that he is not trying to rebuild. He wants to win a championship. When J.J. Watt says that, it is like hearing from a coach that you respect, and it will resonate throughout the team and inspire Watson to keep going and playing for better days. He will have a good game this Sunday against Jacksonville. Okay, Jacksonville. So if you have him, start him. Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Dolphins. Welcome officially to the list of honors for the first time, Mr. Tua. Until he actually makes some real noise, this is where he will stay. His showdown with Kyler Murray may be some payback for Murray or from Murray. The last time they met was in the college football playoffs where Tua topped Kyler in a thriller. This time it is personal, but not enough to slow down Tua's progression. Got to proofread. Yeah? Another touchdown pass he'll get, and he'll also get a touchdown rushing. So 2 touchdowns for Tua this week. All right, now down to the closers. Remember I said Pittsburgh offense, if we could put them into a fantasy game just like we do the defense, well, the defense is here under closers. Pittsburgh Steelers defense and special teams. There must be a trend that I did not plan on, Ed, but I have to be honest with myself and call it like it is. Steel Curtain 2.0 continues against the lowly Jerry World Act. They might get a couple of field goals, but the Steelers will stop the bleeding real quick. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, Chiefs. Not much to say. He has the wealth of weapons and wealth of options to cruise down the stretch of the fourth quarter. This one should not be close, so he may be able to close out in the third. The only thing that hurts him is if the rest of the team is on cruise control. And then lastly, the football team defense and special teams. See, since we won some kind of wavelength, I have been dying to get them in somewhere. I am still on strike with this team, but my childhood keeps me coming back. They have a slot here because the G-men are sorry. Don't let the previous game against the Bucs fool you. That was more of the great team sleepwalking than the Giants on the come up. The defense is getting better in Washington and should keep the misery of the Giants going and going and going all the way down to the stretch of the bottom of the division. Sorry, Karen. All right, fellas, those are the honors of the week. I hope you appreciate them. If you like them, make your changes. If not, see you next week. But now we got the best points coming up right now from my man Sense. He gonna tell you who you need to start and who you need to sit. All right, take it away, Sense.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Sense back again with this week's Sensible Picks. Let's start with the shows. First, Antonio Gibson versus the Giants. While the Giants' run defense is good, they do rank 8th in defending yards after catch. And Gibson is so versatile where he'll have the G-men on their heels. I'd start him as a running back, too, at the very least. Next, Derek Carr versus the Chargers. With Desmond King getting traded last week, the Chargers' secondary has weakened, making it pretty easy for D. Carr to notch up some points. Start him with no hesitation. Next, Evan Graham versus the team. The team's defense has allowed more touchdowns to tight ends than wideouts. And with Landon Collins injured, it's prime for Ingram to pick up some points. And last, Antonio Brown versus New Orleans.
Wow.
He's back.
I knew we had to get it in there.
For how long?
Yes, right. Sir. You know what that means. We'll be hearing Brady to Brown more times than some of us would like to. He can mimic the same performance that he did when he debuted for New England. You'd be a fool not to start him at least as a flex. I am. Now for the non-sun sit him down. First, Amari Cooper versus Pittsburgh. Going against this Pittsburgh D, I don't see Mr. Cooper hanging up any TDs or points.
That's lit.
Next, Darius Slayton versus Washington. In Washington's zone coverage, the Giants receivers had some trouble. Their only touchdown was against a rare man coverage. If Washington goes back to zone, expect a long day for D. Slay. Next, Le'Veon Bell versus Carolina. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still the man in Kansas City. And Mr. Bell is just a role player now, averaging 3.6 yards. Unless you just need a plug-in running back, I'd avoid him.
Sit on the bench.
Sit your ass.
I'm sorry, J3, but Jonathan Taylor versus Baltimore. Baltimore has allowed the fewest fantasy points to running backs, so it's hard to expect him to deliver any huge fantasy points. And also, as a bonus for my stardoms, I got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins versus Indiana. As you mentioned with Lamar Jackson and the running threat that he can be, J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards can also be threats to that Indiana run defense. And those are my picks for the week. Choose sensibly. Back to you.
Good. The Jonathan Taylor one is on point because if I'm correct, my man Ngakoue, I think, is supposed to be playing this week too. So that makes the defense even more nasty. So I'm not sure what they gonna be able to do against Baltimore, but we shall see. And I told you guys, Le'Veon Bell, he may not fit well with this team, but Andy Reid, come playoff time, he gonna figure out a way to get this dude to have some plays and unleash him. I think he's going to be a serious sleeper come playoff time because really they don't need Le'Veon Bell right now. They need him as insurance, and then they could have some plays for him that nobody has seen that they unveil when it come playoff time.
Yeah,
but he still got something in the tank.
Andy Reid is building a dynasty. Y'all better keep up.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good call against Slayton because I watched him play last week and I was like, this cat is pretty good. You know, I was like, all right, got him a little, Jones got him a little target there. But, you know, we'll see how things go with him as he progresses because I think he's a decent piece. I think Golden Tate, he's a game time decision as well. So I'm not sure if he's even going to play. So Washington's defense actually counts this weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, we got to score points, though. They got to score points, though.
Right. So hopefully they start getting like the Steelers and the Ravens, and the defense can give them like really short fields for the offense, or they can score points, and that'll stop. That's
where Gibson comes in because, again, he can pick up big yards against that defense. Plus, get the receiving yards out of the back.
Oh, Big Red, you like you saying that because he got Gibson on his team.
Offensive line. Right. Let me say it again. Offensive line.
If they can run behind him, I think they'll be fine.
Yep.
All right, so let's deal with the elephant in the room real quick. Let's reverse back up to Mr. AB. All right. So, I mean, I feel you. You got him on your team. You picked him up in the draft. You knew this time was coming after week 8. We just didn't know where he would end up. So how do you really feel about him being with Sir Tom once again?
I think it will yield. I think it'll bring dividends. I think play wise, like, I mean, this is TB wanted him for a reason. I think this, like, next to Gronkowski, can be that deep threat that he's always been looking for. Yeah, Evans and Godwin are good, but you got a man with speed like that who can catch like that. Like, business is going to be booming, like, for real. Like,
for how long?
As long as he wants it to. I think Brady's going to keep him in line.
Well,
yeah, I think so. Brady has an effect on players, like that more people would like to admit. I see this like going perfect. I see Brady like kind of keeping that leash on him. I don't see AB getting out of line. Y'all laugh, but I don't see it.
No, because I got a quick rebuttal for you. That's actually the truth of the matter is that even if he's a model citizen in this uniform, you do realize that his legal troubles are not over and that the NFL is waiting for another shoe to drop to actually pull him back off the field and suspend him indefinitely. So he has a couple of court cases that are in court right now that if something substantial comes out of this, he could actually be pulled right back off of that team and suspended. So
I give him 3 games. I give him 3 games and he'd be right back on the street again. 3.
Yeah. So enjoy it now because you got a 2-edged sword here with him.
You gonna make him count.
But
I'm hoping it's a positive outcome. Legal troubles aside, and yeah, I mean, for those 3 games, he's definitely gonna make them count. So if you got him on your roster, like I do, like enjoy it, like props there while you can. Sometimes those 3 games could be those crucial games and those turnaround.
Yeah, I agree because it could give them the division and home field advantage, which is crucial playoff time when you're making a Super Bowl run. So yeah, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Even him there for a short period of time could make them serious contenders for a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So, even with AB, I don't see him out dueling the Steelers, Ravens, or the Chiefs. It's going to be one of those 3 that's waiting for him on the other side if they make it.
Now, I ask this question: have those defenses, in the past when he was on the Steelers, been able to contain them?
You get to the quarterback. Remember when Ben was getting hurt, when he was getting pressured and he couldn't get the ball out, your wide receivers are ineffective if they don't have the time. That's the formula the Giants used to beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. When you got a strong pass rush without blitzing, and the Steelers have that, the Chiefs have that, the Ravens have that. That's going to be pretty tough.
And believe it or not, the Browns have that too.
They sure do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's gonna be that remains to be seen. And because if I know I'm playing Tom Brady and I got the dogs up front, I'm using that same blueprint that the Giants use in order to have my front 4 getting up in Brady's face to make him uncomfortable. He'll throw some pick sixes if he's uncomfortable. He's already shown that in the last 2 seasons. So that's the way you do it. You got all them weapons, but you got to make him uncomfortable. And Tom don't like to get hit. He don't like to get hit.
No, he doesn't. That's why you got the running game too. So
yeah, but all 3 of those teams can stop the running game too. The Steelers had an anomaly against the Ravens. Like the Ravens didn't even have Ingram, and they still rocked up over 200 yards. I don't know what was going on with the Steelers in that game, but with Lamar turning the ball over so much, and they still had a chance to win that game. That was something else. They're gonna meet again. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely in the playoffs.
I see it going longer than 3 games though.
Okay. Well, we're gonna revisit it. So you got 3.
I try to give it to the rest of to the end of the season. I hope. I mean, we in week 9 now, so it ain't that many more weeks left.
Excellent. All right, fellas. Well, we ran through our fantasy script for the night. We hope everybody got some good nuggets and we did our job. We got you up to the top of the hour. We hope that if you're watching, you enjoy the 49ers, the mash unit against the Green Bay Packers. I expect Aaron Rodgers to deal tonight, so we'll see what comes of it. All right?
Double check.
Yep. Double check. All right, as always, we thank you guys. Any of you guys, 2 guys, got any parting thoughts for the people?
Just on another note, just be patient, be calm, don't panic. Things will happen the way they're supposed to in decent order and time. So just know that.
Be vigilant, be safe, and just pray to God that this is over with soon.
Amen. All right, y'all be safe. God bless you. We are out.
See you.